Hey, what is up, guys and gals? Julian RH15 here, back again with another video. And today, I have for you my Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls roster wish list. Now, I did a prediction video of what the roster might be, and I had some things I want to say about that before I get to the actual wish list. But we need to understand predictions and wish lists are two different things. Very two different things. So, to comment on my prediction video, I did make it 22 characters. 24 was the better option. I thought Dragon Ball FighterZ launched with 20 characters. They launched with 24. I should have went with 24. It makes more sense, to be honest with you. So, if there was two other characters to put on that prediction roster, I would say Magneto and Venom, I should say. Number 2, I said Arcane Studios. I meant to say Arc System Works. People who made Fighters in the Guilty Gear series. That's who's making this game. Third thing, I'm still making it a rule that most of this roster will be based off newer characters or just new characters who haven't been in a fighting game series just yet. So you're not going to see a lot of returns in my roster because that's the way I like it, to be honest with you. And I hope there is new characters in the game that we have never seen before. And it's looking like they're, heading towards that way with the characters already included. With that being said, let's get into my wishlist roster. My roster will consist of 32 playable fighters. Also, in the previous video, one of you guys commented that the main villain for this game might be a character called the Champion. I don't know who that is or care to look them up right now, but that character is on the roster. The characters who are on the roster is Miss Marvel Kamala Khan, Spider-Man Peter Parker, Captain America Steve Rogers, Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, Iron Man, Star-Lord, Storm, and Doctor Doom. Now, to make this video a little bit faster, some of the characters from my prediction list will transfer over to the wish list, and some characters have been moved around for other things. Those characters being Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Magneto, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, the Super Cool Hulk, Amadeus Cho, Blade, Loki, Black Panther, Wolverine, Jubilee, Agent Venom, Wasp, and Thanos. Like I said, I'm not going to reiterate why some of these characters should be in this game or why I want them in this game personally, but there's a couple I do want to go over. So you do notice that the Hulk here is not Bruce Banner, it is Amadeus Cho. He's the newer Hulk in the comics, and preferably I like to see him more into this game than Bruce Banner, just because to make it a little bit different from the Capcom series. And also, probably will never get another chance at a fighting game ever. So I think this is the perfect time to include him and just make him a mainstay in the well-known Marvel universe. Because he hasn't been in really anything too crazy as of recent. The only thing I can think of was he was in the Spider-Man animated show that just came out, like the beginning of the year. And he didn't even turn to the Hulk. So yeah, there's some DLC characters that transferred over from the prediction list to the wish list base roster, which is Magneto, obvious reasons, my favorite Marvel character. Agent Venom, just to be different from Venom. He'll be Eddie Brock Venom with the Flash Thompson symbiote. It's in the comics. It makes sense. Jubilee, just because, again, I can't remember if she was in a game or not, but then again, it's been years that she's ever been playable in a fighting game, so even if she isn't, I honestly don't remember, but Jubilee makes it the roster. Thanos. Thanos was a last-minute inclusion. There was a lot of characters I had to put aside for DLC and also the base roster. Thanos was almost cut, but I'm like, Thanos' only fighting game appearance was Infinite, and I think the Marvel Superheroes vs. Capcom game. Those not being the greatest versions of those games, so I put Thanos in a Tokon Fighting Souls base roster. Now, you guys might have noticed some notable exclusions. I will get to that in a second. This leaves us with 10 new faces you guys haven't seen yet from the prediction video to my wishlist video. Let's get started on some of these new additions to Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So the first brand new addition to my wishlist roster is the mighty Thor, Jane Foster. So I did substitute Thor, the Odin's son, to Jane Foster Thor for two reasons. One, like I said, new faces. I think it'll be interesting to see a different version of Thor, that being Jane Foster. Now, does that exclude Thor Odinson from the game? Absolutely not. You can make him have a completely different playstyle than the mighty Thor Jane Foster in the game. But another reason why I went for the mighty Jane. Oh, fuck, this is gonna hurt me. The reason I went with the mighty Thor Jane Foster is because I can't imagine her fitting better into this roster. Now, I know we had the Thor statue in the game already. We could say Thor's dead, right? We could say Thor has been missing for a minute in the story of this game, and have Jane Foster take up the role of Thor in this game. Next up on my list is Bullseye. Yes, personally, Marvel villains are kind of 50-50 for me, so it's kind of hard for me to choose some of my favorites and some I want to see as playable characters, and especially in this game. But Bullseye is a character that I have enjoyed my time with reading and watching and seeing adaptations of Bullseye throughout all the media. He'll primarily be a zoner for this game, but he can do some up-close shenanigans, which I think would be really cool to see. He'll be like a heavy assist character that, it's always going to be a projectile assist. And I think whatever he throws at you should cause a different effect. Like, if he throws a knife, it causes some bleeding damage. If he throws a grenade, you're going to explode, right? So I want Bullseye to throw literally everything at you. Let's say he throws like a fire exchanger at them and they get stunned. I think it'd be really cool to see what the potential is with a zoning affecting type of character that can also be really fast and agile at the same time. Speaking of fast, the next character on our list is Elektra, another brand new character that hasn't been in any fighting game series. Elektra, I think, will bring a different fighting style to this game. I can see her playing like Cheetah from Injustice 2, where you have to be really close up to do some crazy combo damage, and also can peel back defensively really good, while attacking will be interesting. And maybe have her to be some of the few characters in this game that can possibly double or triple jump. Next up on my wish list is Franklin Richards. Now, this character will be the only Fantastic Four member I'm putting on my wish list for two things: roster space, and I could do without them, honestly. I like the Fantastic Four, don't get me wrong. I would still like to see them added to the game, but for my wish list, I took them all out besides someone I think that will be kind of unique to be put in this game, Franklin Richards. And if you don't know who Franklin Richards is, he is the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm. His powers relies in reality warping. He's considered to be a damn near celestial, which is crazy. He has celestial powers, and an Omega level mutant because he's considered a mutant. So I would like to see that in this game, just because to see what the hell they're gonna do with this character and see how he plays like. He's a telepath and he has telekinetic powers, so he can do some crazy energy blasts, I'm assuming. He can change the molecular structure of matter, so basically meaning anything to his disposal is a damn weapon. And just imagine that power set into this game, and I think he'll be a really great addition. Next up on my list is another Marvel villain. He recently just had a solo movie. That is Kraven the Hunter. So out of all the Spider-Man villains, I was considering putting Doc Ock back on the list, even the base roster. But I went with Kraven the Hunter because I feel like out of all the Spider-Man villains, he needs some more love. Even though he just had a solo movie, he needs something more. And I feel like with the Spider-Man 2 game dropping, his movie dropping, he's getting to that level of being a well-known Marvel character just in general. Now his playstyle, since he's a hunter, he's gonna play probably a lot like Rambo, just without the guns from MK11. I would like to see him set traps and maybe even have some setup combo with his traps. He'll probably be one of the slower characters in the game, which is weird saying because he's pretty fast. But I'm just saying, as a setup character, he needs to play kind of smart, right? I want to see him use multiple traps in his moveset. So I want a bear trap. I want to see a trap that has a big wood spike slamming against the opponent. I want to see a trap that can break the assist of the enemy team up. I think that would be really cool. If they can bring a lot of elements from the MK1 cameo system into this game, I think we're looking pretty good here. Next up on my list is a mutant, a very popular mutant, and one of my favorite mutants, because that person is Kurt Wagner Nightcrawler. I'm pretty sure Nightcrawler wasn't in the X-Men fighting game series, but I could be mistaken. I don't remember those games too much. I don't think he was, because I would have remembered Nightcrawler in that game. So yeah, he's a brand new addition to the whole fighting game scene, and I think it's about damn time to put Nightcrawler into a fighting game. One, design off rip, he's amazing. He has a lot of history with Marvel, so you can pull from a lot. Two, he could probably be the fastest character in this game. I know Quicksilver's on the roster, but I'm talking about Just reaction time, it's going to be hard to react to Nightcrawler since he can teleport 24/7. And also he can use 3 swords, 2 in his hands, you want to call them hands, I guess, and then 1 with his tail. And the idea of like the moveset you can use for him, where he can poke far away with his tail and get close with the 2 in his hands, will be really interesting to be implemented into the game. Next up on my list is Nico Minoru, aka Sister Grimm. But I'm just going to leave it as Nico Minoru because I feel like it can go either way. It doesn't matter. So yeah, this will act as the Runaways representative in this game. Runaways is a group of, I believe, kids or even teenagers whose parents are bad guys and they all run away and use special abilities and powers they were bestowed upon them with their bloodline or family just in general. So, and they become a team. Nico Minoru has the power of blood magic. So Nico has blood magic, but she relies mostly on the staff that she uses. So she's not like too well versed into the power. So that's why the staff is there to help her. She has flight. She can levitate objects. She can teleport if she wants to. And all this can be used in her moveset. She can play as like a mid-range defensive fighter, or maybe with the blood magic, there could be a spell where she uses the power and maybe get some health back, or even for her teammates. That could be really interesting. Again, that'll be a different mechanic from everybody else in the game, and I feel like that's what Arc System is trying to do. Next up on my list is Elsa Bloodstone. She will act like the gunfighter, the gun use character of my wish list because I didn't want too many, and I know there's a lot of popular ones you can go with, one being Punisher. Spoiler, he's not on my list at all. I don't want to see Punisher in the game. But I did go with Elsa Bloodstone because there's a little twist to her. I know she uses guns and shoots a bunch of things, a bunch of weapons, right? But she has access to a ton of magical weaponry, which me likey. Elsa Bloodstone has, of course, the Bloodstone bestowed upon her from her father, and also a bunch of magical artifacts at her disposal. And you can go crazy with how many like magical artifacts she has from like throughout the Marvel universe, and putting that with her moveset can be really cool because of course she can play range a lot since she's mostly a gun user, and then you throw in the magical artifacts and then she has a completely different fighting style. Maybe even unlocks new abilities if it's used for like a period of time for some of the magical artifacts. And like I said, you could go crazy with her kit because there's so many things to pull from, and I think that just gives her a boost and a leg up than characters like Punisher and other characters who uses guns as like their only thing. I feel like if you go the Elsa Bloodstone route, the game will be way better off. Next up on my list is Nornrad Silver Surfer. Now this will be the first time Silver Surfer will be in a fighting game to this extent. And the reason why is probably because how do you make Silver Surfer a fighting game character? So I came up with this idea where there's a option to get off the surfboard and have a completely different moveset. And then when you're on the surfboard, you can call it back in and you have a different moveset. It's 2 types of characters in one. When Silver Surfer's back on the board, like when he can call it back in, maybe with an attack, you'll have a different moveset where it's like more floaty, probably more projectile based, and more of a poke game with the board when you're on it. When you're off the board, I can see him having a slower attack style, but still like hitting heavy. Since the source of his powers come from the power Cosmic by Galactus, and also Silver Surfer could teleport, but I don't want to make that his main kit. I think it'd be kind of cool. Let's say Silver Surfer can pop one of his teleports and pop another and creates like a black hole trap or something, or just sucks the enemy player in. I think that'd be really cool because that can like set up combos and call the board and you do some crazy air combo. I can see a lot of stuff we could do with Silver Surfer. That's why I want him in this game because again, he's very unique, hasn't been in the game before, and I'm a big fan of Silver Surfer. So next up is the King in Black, Null. Null is basically the living abyss. He can manipulate darkness and manifest it into different void attacks. Also, I believe he rules Clintar, the planet where Venom comes from. So I can imagine he can probably summon some symbiote attacks or maybe even creatures in his arsenal. I also think he rocks a sword. I believe he also rocks a sword. As of now, I think Null is becoming one of those more popular Spider-Man-esque characters / Venom, because I see him more of a Venom threat. Like the design of Null just screams like he should be in a fighting game or just in more things because it's just a sick design. And if we're going to that more cosmic side of things with the story game, I think Null could fit in perfectly. So that is my base roster for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. My wishlist base roster, I should say. We're gonna move on to 8 DLC fighters I think will also be a great addition to this game. Again, I didn't, out of the 40 characters, I know I'm missing a couple you guys want in this game and a couple I want in the game as well. But like I said, it's just make-believe. This isn't the actual roster. This is all the people who I want in the game. And it also kind of fit into the system, the ARC system. You get it? Anyways, let's get into the DLC of this game. A couple returning DLC characters. I'm gonna go through them real quickly from the prediction roster so I don't have to repeat myself again. Are these three: Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Like I said, I do think he's different enough from Peter Parker Spider-Man where he could be his own character. And I feel like it should happen. You know, it should happen. Drax, the Destroyer, has never been in a fighting game yet out of all the Guardians characters. And I think he'll fit in quite well with this. And then, of course, Cyclops. I know I said there's a rule where we try to make a bunch of new characters that hasn't been in a fighting game before into this game, but Cyclops just needs to happen. It's been so damn long that we've seen him in a new fighting game. I know the Capcom collection did come out, and it did bring, you know, some spark back to Cyclops and the X-Men show, X-Men 97. Oh my god. But so yeah, it's about that time to bring him back in to the fold. We have a bunch of new characters I haven't discussed yet. Let's start. First up on this list is Emma Frost. You're gonna see a lot of X-Men adjacent characters in my DLC roster because I couldn't fit them all in the base roster because again, I want a variety. So Emma Frost was one of those characters I had moved to the DLC roster. I think she'll be cool to see gameplay wise of how they're gonna design her with her diamond form, and then, you know, without the diamond form with all her mind control tricks. I would also like to see what they can pull from, because Emma Frost has a lot in the comics that even Rivals I don't think has fully executed yet. So I would like to see all those like possibilities in the comics implemented into her character in this game. Next up is Moon Knight. I believe Moon Knight has never been in a fighting game, and that's because no one really knows what he does exactly. He follows Khonshu, he follows the moon god, and bestowed these crazy powers and abilities, or mostly abilities, that no one can really understand because he does a bunch of crazy stuff. That's why I would finally like to see Moon Knight get implemented into any type of fighting game, because I feel like he deserves it, and just to see what wacky shit they can come up with his kit. Maybe even have 3 different playstyles with the 3 different conscience stuff in his head, 3 different personalities, or people I should say. I think Moon Knight would be very interesting. Next up is another famous mutant. It is Magic. Oh, what can I say that hasn't been said already? Brand new character, hasn't been in a fighting game just yet. Can open portals to, I think, hell or some type of hell. I think it's like a magic type of hell. It's some different reality. I don't know too much about Magic, but I know she can pull a lot of portals and hell stuff from her world, the realm that she lives or comes from, I should say. She has that giant, damn near Buster Sword level weapon, and can probably have like the farthest reach of all the sword fighters in this game already. And like I said, it'll be different from all the other sword fighters. So I think that'll be very interesting. She has a pet dragon, I think, that she can also use in her gameplay. So maybe use it as like a poison ivy type of assist plant that could just like shoot out fire or something. Or maybe you can call like the little dragon out and like it zooms at the enemy and maybe like does some type of effect where Magic can like get in quicker. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Magic. She's getting up there in like popularity. I think she has like her own solo series out now, and I would like to see that continue with the Magic in this game. So this next character goes by a lot of names: Captain Marvel or Quasar. I would prefer that if they go the Quasar route, because she is Captain Marvel, but it's a lot to explain. Anyways, so Quasar basically possesses the same powers as Captain Marvel. I just think she has a cool design, in my opinion. She has something called the Quantum Sword. And I know, oh my god, another sword character. Is this Smash Brothers? No. This sword can give off energy pulses, which is, you know, damn near death, because it can cut through anything. I also think she's also called Moon Dragon. I just want to get all the nicknames in there, because there's a lot of aliases with her. But yeah, she is Captain Marvel, basically with a sword. I think it's a cool design, in my opinion. I believe she's going to be in that new Marvel, like, beat 'em up, 8-bit, 16-bit type of game coming out soon. And like I said, it hasn't been in any other fighting games, I don't believe, and it'll be really cool to add her into this game. And for my final DLC character, it's someone who I think, you know, deserves a spot, and it has been in other fighting games before, but in the year of 2025, I would like to see this person return, and that is La Gambit. Yeah, you already know what's up. The energy cards he can throw, his staff he can even use as an energy staff, and maybe get a power boost from stuff like that. Maybe even have just a move where he explodes, you know? That'd be cool. Gambit, you can pull a lot of stuff from the comics, and he's been around for years, and there's already a template for his fighting style in Capcom. You don't have to use that, but I'm just saying. I'll allow you this one. Anyways, that is my full Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls roster. Is Arc System Works going to have this big of a roster? I hope so. Is it possible? Maybe. It depends how long they're actually working on this game and how much PlayStation Studios is willing to give up money for them, which I'm assuming will be a lot. But yeah, I hope this is what the roster looks like, or at least adjacent to. It might not have these many slots. I know I'm missing a ton of characters. Like I cut out Cloak and Dagger as one character. I really wanted to put them in the game. Groot and Rocket also has one character. I probably cut a bunch of more. I cut Thor, and I didn't want to because, from the prediction video, I thought of a really cool moveset with him, with having like 2 different hammers or weapons. This is my wishlist roster. This is also probably the last one I'm going to make of this type of wishlist roster video for this game, at least. Well, hopefully it comes out next year on time, and there's more trailers drop, and I can like react to them fully, now knowing what this game is, and I'm very excited for it. I'm also willing to pick up more fighting games because this is all motion input controls. An input I'm not very good at, and I want to learn that system. And I think a good start would be Guilty Gear Strive, so tell me if you guys want to see a video on that. Anyways, leave y'all roster wish list below. I know I'm missing a couple of y'all favorites, Deadpool, but I'd like to hear y'all's roster ideas, or just like anything about this game, really, because I like to have discussion about this game when it comes out. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so it'll be appreciated if y'all subscribe. Peaceful people. Goodbye.